You're me, Louie T. Welcome to the 2018 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names in the 2018 NFL Draft. We're talking running backs, and this next guy that I'm about to talk about is someone that I'm really high on right now. Maybe a little too high. Maybe I need to come down a bit, but I'm really drinking the sauce here. And I think this is similar to last year with a guy that I really liked coming out of Tennessee in Alvin Kamara last year that I was right about. But again, this is a guy that I just feel like has that it. And so we'll see if he can do some of the things that he did in the SEC at the next level. I'll tell you one thing, he looks a lot like one of the best backs in the league. His running style is as close as you're gonna get to one of the league's best. And that's a huge compliment for the next back that we're about to break down. Are there some off the field issues? Is he a guy that could be a troublemaker in the locker room? I don't know. Is he injury prone? Again, can't answer to that. All I know is that when I see him on the field, I see a guy that has the potential to be dominant at the next level. I'm talking about Auburn running back Kerryon Johnson. Let's talk about Kerryon Johnson and why a lot of people like this guy as a potential big name sleeper in the second round of this draft. Start with his pros. Good size at 6 feet, 212. Some people say that he's a little leggy. That 212, not the best size if you're looking for an every down tote, rock toter per se. You'd like him to be more along the lines of 220, 225. But again, 212, he'll probably end up putting on more weight as he gets into the NFL, gets into a nutritional weight, plan. He'll probably put on another 5 to 7. It's not that hard to put on that kind of weight at the next level, so I'm not going to beat him up for his weight. Some people say he's a little leggy when he runs. There's a lot to hit. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but for me, his speed at 4.54, I thought he was going to run a little bit slower than that. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you could see 4.54 at times. I mean, that Ole Miss game comes to mind where he lit them up, but there are times where you're like, I don't think you're that fast. What do you got? And so 4.54, I'm not mad at that at all. I'll take 4.54 from a guy that brings some of the things that he brings to the table at the next level. Quickness and acceleration for a guy that I think has limited quicks. He's got enough quicks to be dangerous, can jump cut you at times, but that's not one of his best and sharpest tools in his arsenal. He's got some acceleration though. And again, on tape, you see it from time to time. He gets out in space and you see that acceleration, you see that burst, you see some quicks, but he's not gonna make anybody miss, but you still feel like he's got a chance to go at any point, which is rare for a guy when you say to yourself, he's not making anybody miss, so he's got to have a clear path. And he's not running 4.43, he's running 4.54. So why do you think that this guy has a chance to go? It's just something about the way he runs. And then there's another gear when he gets out into space. He's got another gear. So there's acceleration here in Kerryon Johnson. Agility. I think his agility is more around the line of scrimmage, in and around the hole. He's able to make subtle cuts and changes in direction that allow him to maximize runs. This isn't a guy, like I said, that's gonna put a spin move on you or break you off out in space and give you a 1-2 and drop a dude's draws at the 40 and pick up an additional 20. That's not what this dude is doing. But in the hole, subtle cuts, tremendous patience. You put those two things together, and all of a sudden, a 2-yard run turns into a 12-yard run where he comes out the other side of a hole and you're like, how the hell did he do that? So he's got that Le'Veon Bell type of patience to him. And that's the next pro, is his patience, man. It's just ridiculous. Again, I hate making comparisons to Le'Veon Bell, but if there's any back out there that looks the part of a Le'Veon Bell, same size, Bell's a lot bigger, but if you're talking similar stature and patience and the ability to kind of wait and allow things to develop and then hit it fast once it does develop, you're talking about Kerryon Johnson. And I take it a step further. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's running a 4.4 or anything. I think he's a 4.5 and some change guy. Kerryon Johnson is the same thing. They really mirror each other really well, man. I think he has a lot in him that resembles Le'Veon Bell, which is a huge compliment because right now Le'Veon Bell is a one-of-a-kind back. And if Kerryon Johnson's style is as close to Le'Veon's as we think, we could have a big-time back that someone will be getting probably in the second round. Vision, I think he has tremendous vision. In order to have the patience that he has, you've got to have vision. If you don't have that vision to go along with the patience that he exudes, then you're gonna have problems. Because if you're waiting, and that hole develops and you don't see it, then you're waiting for a 2-yard loss. Or you're waiting for a no-yard gain on a play that probably should have got 3. Because if you would have just run, you would have gotten something instead of waiting. So you've got to have vision in order to use that patience that he seems to put on display week in, week out on tape in the SEC at Auburn. So he does have vision, will use that vision to hit cutbacks. And like I said, he's got acceleration. When he sees a cutback lane and hits it, it's usually fast. So he does have really good vision to go along with the patience that I talked about. Contact balance and yards after contact may be his biggest strength. He's the guy that refuses to go down on first contact a lot of times. You can go after the knee if you want. You can hit him on the thigh. He's a guy, and I told you, people complain about him being a little leggy as a runner, a lot to hit down on the lower half of his body, but it's tough to get him down. He's a guy that will run through shoulder contact. He'll run through tackle attempts at his legs. You want to come as a corner, be sloppy with a half-hearted attempt at a cut. You coming down at the legs, he's a guy that'll either jump over you or he'll run right through that tackle. So he does a really good job of getting yards after contact. The yak is definitely there. Contact balance, I think, is a huge strength for Kerryon Johnson. He gets the tough yards, and he also gets, I don't think he's gonna hit a ton of home runs, but boy, does he hit a bunch of doubles, the occasional triple and home run, and a ton of singles. Rarely are you gonna get him to strike out. So you love guys that always going forward lean, getting you extra yards after contact. That's Kerryon Johnson's game. You're looking for a guy to be physical in between the tackles, after contact, still going forward for an additional 2 yards. Kerryon Johnson's the man for the job. Receiving ability, I think he can catch the football. I really do. Now, again, is he Saquon Barkley? Is he Rashad Penny? No, he's not splitting out and catching a slant. He's not breaking a dude off, you know, on an arrow route over the middle of the field where he is just absolutely embarrassing a linebacker, making it look like an out and then breaking back to the end. Nah, that's not what he's doing. But can you throw him the football on the screen? Can he catch the football cleanly on a flare route out of the backfield? Yeah, absolutely. So he fits in line with the rest of these backs that I don't know if they're exceptional in terms of receiving ability, but he can catch it and make something happen after the catch. Did he get yards in the screen game at Auburn? Absolutely. And they used him quite a bit, and I thought he was very effective in that role. So I think there's some receiving ability there with Kerryon Johnson. Stamina, snap volume. He was really the guy at Auburn. Now, there were some, another back in there. He was more like a fullback, if you ask me, but they gave him the rock as a running back. But it was really Kerryon Johnson's show. When healthy, he was the guy at Auburn. They were looking to feature him, and he got a ton of touches. So I think he's a guy that gives you stamina, gives you snap volume. You think you can give it to him on all 3 downs if need be, and he can come through for you. And I'd like to think that that will hold up at the next level if necessary. Versatility. He's got solid versatility. I think he can catch it and run it. He doesn't offer you anything else. I don't think he's going to play on 3rd downs at the next level. If he doesn't improve as a pass blocker, he can't play on 3rd downs at the next level. We'll talk about that when we get to his cons, though. As you get to the next pro, leg drive. I talked about yards after contact. I talked about contact balance. That goes with the leg drive. His leg drive is exceptional. He's one of those guys that around the goal line, he just has a nose for the end zone. In short yardage situations, you just know Kerryon Johnson's going to get the 1st down. Unless he gets gang tackled, he's probably going to do whatever's necessary to pick up the necessary yardage. And so his leg drive is exceptional. He's right up there with among the best in this draft class in terms of leg drive. And then ball security, he's exceptional. 2 career fumbles, only 1 in 17. And it was a big one. It was in the SEC championship game versus the Georgia Bulldogs. A big fumble in that game that really turned the tide of that game. But he was banged up in that game. He probably shouldn't have played in that game, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, a fumble's a fumble. I'm not here to make excuses for that man. He put it on the carpet, and it did cost his team. But that's not something that happens very often with Kerryon Johnson, and hasn't really happened throughout his career. So you go to his cons. Does he make you miss? Nah, not really. No real MYM from Kerryon Johnson. He does pack a mean stiff arm though. He'll put you down. He'll lay you down with a stiff arm. And I have seen him break dudes off before, but it's rare, man. He's got to be feeling really frisky, and it's got to be a good day, man. He's not breaking dudes off though. He'll stiff arm you. He'll get everything out of a run. He'll squeeze every ounce he can out of a run with a stiff arm. He'll give you multiples if necessary, but is he breaking a dude off? Nah, that's not really what he's doing. Toughness, durability. Missed a couple of games with a hammy. Knee and ankle injury versus Bama late in the season. Ran into that SEC championship game. Really hampered him. So can he stay healthy? Durability, quite an issue. That's something you got to ask yourself moving forward. Also, in the locker room, is this guy a problem? I've heard stories that this guy could be a little bit of an issue in the locker room. Don't know how true it is. Don't know if this guy's really a malcontent, but it exists. There's a narrative out there that has to be probed into if you're a team looking to bring Kerryon Johnson on to your roster. And finally, pass pro and awareness. His pass pro is horrendous. I don't trust him. Okay. I'm harsh. I'm being harsh. His pass pro isn't great. It could be a lot better. It's not good enough. So it's not good enough. Is he as bad as Rashad Penny? No. At least he gives you effort. But I go look at the Alabama game. Minkah Fitzpatrick rushes off the edge on a blitz that he clearly saw coming, got out there to Minkah, and did not. I need better. That's not good enough. That's simply not good enough. And if that's the best you're going to give me, you can't be on the field on third down. So he's got a ways to go. And then there's times where he just doesn't know who to block. So again, right now, as it stands, if you were to put him on a team right now, first and second down only, I can't have him on the field on critical third down situations where I know he's got to stay in and protect. I just don't trust him right now with that task. At the next level. But again, that's something that can and will be taught. He should get better at that. I expect him to get better at that. I really like his game, man. I think he brings a physicality and an element to the game that a team may be missing, that he could be the missing ingredient or piece to a team's run game in the upcoming season and for years to come. Really like Kerryon Johnson. Go see the score that I gave him, the rating that I gave him, and see where he ranks among his peers on LouieTNetwork.net, and see where he ranks among other players, not just running backs, in the 2018 NFL Draft. But that's going to do it for you, man. Louie T here, breaking down Kerryon Johnson on the Draft Prospects 101 series. I've got plenty more running backs to break down, and I've got a lot more content coming, so don't you go anywhere. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and check out the website, LouieTNetwork.net, and the podcast, Louie T Network Podcast. But in any event, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, we're changing the game, period. See you next time.